What's up, Celtics Nation? The regular season is over, and now it's time to lock in, because the real battle begins. After a dominant campaign that ended with 61 wins and just 21 losses, the Boston Celtics are officially the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. But don't let that ranking fool you into thinking the road ahead will be smooth. In the first round of the playoffs, the Celtics are set to face the Orlando Magic, a team that might not jump off the page with their 41-41 record, but make no mistake, they've got enough grit, size, and defensive toughness to make this matchup a real test. Let's rewind a bit. Orlando looked like a top 4 team early in the season. They came out the gates with energy, chemistry, and a defense that had everyone taking notice. But injuries, like they always do, changed the picture. Their all-star forward, Paolo Banchero, went down with an oblique injury, and shortly after, Franz Wagner suffered the same fate. Those weren't just any 2 players. They were the motor behind this young team. Once they were sidelined, Orlando lost their rhythm. The momentum faded, and what once looked like a breakout season turned into a grind just to stay in the race. They slipped into the play-in tournament, clawed their way past Atlanta, and now they've earned the right to dance with the defending Eastern Conference champs. But if you think this will be a cakewalk for Boston, think again. Head coach Joe Mazzulla knows exactly what's coming. When asked about this matchup, he didn't hold back. He acknowledged what every Celtics fan should already know. This is the playoffs, and nothing comes easy. According to Mazzulla, Orlando's a well-coached group with talent across the board, and their versatility makes them dangerous. He said every game moving forward is going to be a fight, and he's absolutely right. In the postseason, seeding doesn't mean much if you don't bring intensity from the jump. And Orlando, they've got nothing to lose and everything to prove. Let's not forget, Orlando actually won the season series against Boston. That's right, 2 wins to 1. Now, it's important to give context. In their most recent meeting on April 9th, the Celtics rested practically everyone. No Jason Tatum, no Jaylen Brown, no Porzingis, no Horford. The all-defensive team guys were also out. But still, a loss is a loss. And that game finished 96-76 in favor of Orlando. It shows that even when the Celtic stars are off the court, Orlando has the firepower to capitalize. That game also gave us a glimpse into what the younger guys can do. Rookie forward Baylor Scheierman stepped up and dropped 15 points. Peyton Pritchard, who's been making a strong case for 6th Man of the Year, also finished with 15. But Orlando's Franz Wagner reminded everyone why he's a key piece for them, scoring 23 points on efficient shooting, 9 for 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, and a perfect 3 of 3 from the line. He also chipped in with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. With Paolo Banchero expected to be back for the series and Wagner heating up again, Orlando will roll into the Garden with confidence. Still, let's be honest, Boston is built for this. They're not just one of the deepest teams in the league, they've been through playoff wars. Tatum and Brown have been here before. They've felt the sting of defeat, and they've come out stronger for it. Kristaps Porzingis brings length and scoring versatility that changes the entire offensive dynamic. Jrue Holiday, with his championship pedigree and elite defense, is the kind of player who makes a real difference in high-pressure moments. And then you've got Al Horford, the steady veteran presence who does all the little things that don't show up in box scores. Boston has weapons. They got experience. But they also know the danger of underestimating a team that has nothing to lose. And if there's one thing that stands out heading into this first-round matchup, it's the pressure. Let's face it, Boston has expectations. They're not just trying to win a series. They're trying to win a championship. Anything less would be seen as a disappointment after the kind of season they've had. For Orlando, making it this far already feels like a step forward. They're the underdog, but they're also fearless. That combination can be dangerous. The Celtics need to respect that and respond with the intensity of a team that understands what's at stake. If Boston wants to take care of business and move on, they've got to match Orlando's energy from the jump. And let's be real here. The Garden crowd will bring the noise, but it's the players on the floor who set the tempo. Every playoff game is like a heavyweight fight, and the first punch matters. This Celtics team can't afford to ease into the series or treat it like a formality. That's how upsets happen. That's how momentum shifts. From the opening tip, Boston has to make a statement, not just with scoring, but with effort plays. Diving for loose balls, setting strong screens, chasing down rebounds. Those are the moments that set the tone for a series. We've seen what happens when this Celtics squad is locked in. When they're fully engaged on both ends, they suffocate opponents. Their switching defense, their length on the perimeter, and their ability to protect the rim create nightmare scenarios for offenses. They've got two-way players at every position. When Tatum is committed defensively, when Jalen is active in passing lanes, when Drew is hounding ball handlers, and when Porzingis is anchoring the paint, this team is nearly impossible to score on. But again, it's about consistency. That has to show up every night, not just when they feel like flipping the switch. Offensively, Boston has more weapons than most teams can handle. Tatum and Brown can both take over games. Porzingis stretches the floor like few bigs in the league. Derek White has become one of the most underrated two-way guards in basketball, and Pritchard off the bench has proven he could be a spark plug when the offense stalls. That kind of depth is a luxury most teams don't have, but it only matters if everyone's playing within the system. Ball movement, spacing, and shot selection are key, especially against a team like Orlando, who's going to make you work for every look. They don't give up easy buckets, and they'll punish careless turnovers by getting out in transition. And here's the thing, Orlando's not just some scrappy feel-good story. They've got real players. Paolo Banchero is a matchup nightmare. He's strong, he's skilled, and he's got the confidence of a star. If Boston lets him get comfortable early, it could be a long series. Wagner brings that combination of size and craftiness that makes him dangerous on or off the ball. Wendell Carter Jr. can battle inside, and even though Suggs is out, Orlando still has guards who can create and disrupt. They're not going to go away quietly. If they steal a game early, all of a sudden the pressure swings. That's the kind of shift that can flip a whole series. Now, this is where coaching becomes critical. Joe Mazzulla has grown a lot since stepping into the head role, but the playoffs are where coaches really earn their stripes. Rotations matter more. Matchups become chess pieces, and how you adjust game to game can define the series. Orlando's coach is no slouch either. He's got those guys playing hard, believing in the system, and trusting each other. That's dangerous. When a team plays without fear and has a clear identity, it forces you to beat them, not just out-talent them, but outwork them. That's why Mazzulla's message about respecting the opponent isn't just coach speak. It's the truth. If the Celtics try to coast, they could find themselves in trouble. Another thing to watch in this series is the bench battle. Boston has leaned on its depth all year, and that's going to be key again. Guys like Sam Hauser, Oshie Brissett, and Luke Cornett may not always light up the box score, but they play roles that matter. In the playoffs, every minute counts. Starters can't carry the load for 40 minutes a night without help. Bench units need to maintain leads, change tempo, and keep the pressure on. If Boston's second unit can outperform Orlando's, it gives the starters breathing room and keeps the rhythm alive. That's where the Celtics can really tilt the series in their favor, by winning the little stretches that often get overlooked. But no series is complete without adversity. There will be cold shooting nights. There will be foul trouble. There will be moments where it looks like the game is slipping away. That's where the maturity of this Boston team has to show. They've been through heartbreak. They've been on the wrong end of comebacks. They've lost Game 7s and felt the sting of missed opportunities. That pain needs to fuel them now. The urgency has to be there from the first quarter of Game 1. This isn't just about getting to the next round. It's about building momentum for the long haul. The Celtics are chasing more than a series win. They're chasing a banner. Every possession in this series is a test of discipline, a test of focus, a test of will, and it starts with leadership. Tatum, Brown, Horford, and Holiday, they got to be the voices in the huddle, the energy on the floor, the example that sets the tone. This team is too good, too deep, and too experienced to let anything slide. Not now, not in April, not when everything they've worked for all season is on the line. And the fans will feel that. The Garden will erupt with every big block, every three-pointer, every charge taken. That environment gives Boston a boost, but the players still have to deliver. So as the Celtics gear up for this opening round showdown, one thing is clear. They can't overlook Orlando. This is not a warm-up act. This is not a tune-up. This is a real series against a team that believes it belongs. If Boston wants to survive and advance, they need to bring their best. Not just in flashes. Not just when they're trailing. From the opening tip of Game 1 to the final buzzer of Game 4, 5, 6, or even 7 if it gets there. That's the mentality. No shortcuts. No let-ups. Just business. Because the road to the finals doesn't start in June. It starts now. And every step counts. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. What if one of the most iconic franchises in NBA history was about to change hands? And not to a former player, not to a celebrity, but to a financial titan few saw coming. That's the question lighting up group chats, social media feeds, and front offices across the league right now. The rumor mill is churning at full speed, with whispers that billionaire Stanley Middleman is preparing a blockbuster bid to acquire the Boston Celtics, one of the crown jewels of professional basketball. The silence from official channels? Only adding fuel to the fire. According to sources close to the situation, Middleman has been quietly maneuvering behind the scenes, engaging in what insiders describe as advanced talks with current ownership, the Boston Basketball Partners, LLC. With a net worth stretching well into the billions and a reputation for bold acquisitions in the financial world, Middleman's entry into the sports landscape will be nothing short of seismic. The rumored offer? North of $4 billion. If true, it would place this deal among the most expensive franchise takeovers in American sports history. Naturally, Celtics fans are caught somewhere between curiosity and concern. On one hand, the possibility of fresh capital and a new vision is tantalizing, especially with a team that's consistently been on the brink of championship glory in recent seasons. But there's also an undercurrent of anxiety. Would Middleman preserve the traditions, the culture, and the gritty Boston identity that has defined the franchise for generations? The fan base, while passionate, is not always patient. And this kind of shakeup could redefine everything, from front office philosophy to player recruitment. Across the NBA, executives and analysts are watching closely. The idea of another billionaire stepping into the league signals a shift, perhaps even a new era of ultra-wealthy owners with Wall Street instincts reshaping how franchises operate. Could this be the first domino in a wave of high-profile takeovers? Might player salaries, trade dynamics, and team valuations surge in response? The implications stretch far beyond the parquet floor of TD Garden. As of now, neither Stanley Middleman nor the Celtics have issued any statements confirming or denying the speculation. But the buzz isn't going away. In fact, it's growing louder by the hour. Middleman has the resources, the ambition, and the strategic mind to pull off something of this magnitude. The only question left: is this rumor about to become reality? Stay tuned. This story could explode into the headline of the year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.